Speaker 9 is Daniel Friedman.
Hi. Like Vance, who just spoke, I'm a member of the board of the Downtown Neighborhood Association, although today I'm speaking on my own behalf. And I think there's a lot to applaud in the rail-only proposal. I want to give credit where credit's due. It acknowledges the value of fareless transportation downtown. It's easy to understand, particularly for visitors. And the proposal to establish an honored citizen pass at least represents an attempt to deal with some of the problems that the rail-only approach itself creates. But despite TriMet's efforts and assurances, I think the rail-only option will diminish Fareless Square's coverage and make it less convenient for users. Rail only takes a system that's a proven success and renders it less appealing to potential users. And so it puts at risk gains in ridership that TriMet's worked very hard over the years to achieve. TriMet tries to minimize the impact of eliminating the rail-only, eliminating fareless buses. It points out that most free bus trips begin and end within the transit mall itself. But nonetheless, TriMet's own ridership data shows that a quarter of Fareless Square's bus rides take place outside the bus mall. That's 5,500 trips a week involving thousands of riders. One of the chief problems with rail only is that it will reduce Fareless Square coverage and increase walking distance by removing essential east-west connectors. For example, the 20 Burnside from Fareless service. One of the chief problems with rail only, TriMet has circulated a map showing that most locations within Fareless Square are no more than 5 blocks from the rail stop. But this ignores the problem of east-west travel. People don't just go from north to south, they also sometimes need to travel east-west. With most of Fareless Square being 14 to 17 blocks wide, east-west distances matter. If you're close to Yamhill Morrison, the red or blue lines will move you east-west quickly and efficiently. And if you're close to Market, you can take the streetcar. But in a substantial portion of Fareless Square, especially as you move north of Yamhill and Morrison, it's no help to walk 4 or 5 blocks to a rail stop where you can catch a train that only travels north-south. Rail only will increase walking distances for those traveling north-south along the transit mall by greatly reducing the number of transit stops at which passengers can board. It's currently possible to catch a north-south bus along the transit mall on almost any block. But since riders will be able to board and exit only at max stops, which are spaced 4 to 5 blocks apart, walking distances will be increased for many riders. Rail only will also increase wait times along the transit mall. And although I was just informed by Tom Strader that his estimate is that trains, if you include the circulator, will arrive at roughly 3 to 5 minute intervals during the week, which I think mitigates that point to an extent. While rail only will reduce boarding times on buses, it will increase boarding times and congestion on green and yellow line trains as they pass through downtown. So short hop trips and boarding pileups won't be reduced. They'll mainly be displaced from buses to trains. The research on transit ridership is fairly consistent. The findings that determine whether people choose to use public transit are the very things that the rail-only option will make worse. Greater walking distance, greater distance between transit stops, longer waiting times, increased boarding times, increased congestion, and reduced coverage. So today, as the transit mall is about to reopen and usher in a new era of growth and prosperity for downtown Portland, the nation's most livable central city is about to get more livable. Yet TriMet is seeking changes that diminish and curtail Fareless Square and that risk reducing ridership. I'd like to see Fareless Square continue with its current scope and coverage. That's also the position of the Downtown Neighborhood Association. But if TriMet insists upon changes, I propose the following modifications to the rail-only plan. First, designate several east-west bus routes as fareless, for example, the 20 Burnside. For legibility and simplicity's sake, paint them orange with stripes or some other distinctive, use other distinctive markings and write fareless all over them. Second, extend the honored citizen pass to all seniors and mobility impaired riders. The serious problems that the rail-only option creates for people whose mobility is impeded are not limited to downtown residents and are not resolved by a pass for which only downtown residents are eligible. The fact is that the vast majority of riders in Fareless Square do not live downtown. As a result, the idea of a special pass for downtown residents is based on a deep misunderstanding of Fareless Square, its users, and its benefits. A downtown-only pass perpetuates the myth that Fareless Square represents a subsidy to downtown residents, when in fact Fareless Square is used by thousands of people daily, the vast majority of whom do not live in the central city. Fareless Square unites and connects a district that's the economic heart and soul of a metropolitan region with a population of almost 2 million, all of whom benefit from a thriving downtown Portland and from a reduction in automobile use. 10 years ago, Portland was debating Biricat's proposal to make the whole city a free fare zone. Today, as the transit mall is about to reopen, the nation's most livable central city is about to get more livable. It's time for TriMet's leadership to grow Fareless Square rather than diminish it, and to embrace it as a point of civic pride rather than continue to treat it as an anachronism or an embarrassment.